this is a twofer today. We're going to go through another box of silverware. And I bought this one for $41 plus shipping. Again, I like the plated patterns. I think I can profit off of them. This one I might have to polish up though. I have to polish up some of this flatware because it's very tarnished. And people don't quite like that. So just a couple minutes with my silver polish and a sponge, and I'll be able to get these pieces back up to beautiful shininess, and they'll be more likely to sell. These simple patterns kind of can be a little bit deceptive because they might make sterling out of it, and the workers they won't realize that because they'll think it's ugly. I polish it off because I can't make out the marking. I bet it's plated, but I want to be 100% sure though. Put that to the side. Got these little, kind of like fieldback form, but they're made kind of differently to where I know that they're made in Sheffield, England. EPNS England. Yeah, they just look different from American fiddles pieces, whatever you would call that. Alright. I think I found plenty of this in the last box. It's a nice bundle. Okay, this looks pretty, I bet you. Prima nickel silver ALP, and the marking is 30, which is okay. Quick lesson, guys. If you find European silverplate, sometimes they have a marking of a number, and it could be like 90. 90 is very common. 30 is less common. This indicates the amount of silver that was plated on the pieces. And 30 is kind of low. It's probably better than American silverplate, but you can imagine that with 30, it's kind of like it's a thinner plating, guys. So, do you see how distinctively yellow this is, guys? It's showing the nickel silver underneath the base metal. Like, I'm going to try to explain like this. Like, the thinner the silver is, then the more likely that tarnish is going to be very distinct to the type of base metal it is, and the less likely that the silverware will fool you into thinking it's real silver. At least that's how I feel. If notice that I was discussing how I thought that a piece of silverplate looked really like sterling. It had that glow. It was polished up really nice, and it glowed kind of like how sterling has a faint luster, that glow. This piece could be sterling. This does give me a bit more of the sterling glow that I'm looking for. And it's hard to tell, like explain why or how it feels like it's kind of glowing, and it's kind of subtle. Like, I don't know, guys. If you all live with silverware as much as I do, you kind of get that knack. Bet it's kind of similar to how people end up falling in love with fancy wines, but you're XX special. Nope, I was wrong again. This was very polished and looked a lot like sterling silver would. Well, this is less likely to do that. Polish it up really nice, and it might fool somebody for a little while, but the tarnish will come back quickly. Really thick silver plate can fool even experts, and it tarnishes like silver does. And the thicker the plating is, then the closer you'll get to actual silver tarnishing patterns. I hope that makes sense. Silver tarnish is these mottled browns that I can pick up a lot of the time in pictures, and I have a decent chance of being right. See that? Look at this blue, this really blue sheen. It's almost like an oil slick. And this indicates copper in the base metal, so I would know that there's copper in this. Whereas this yellow kind of corresponds to nickel. I don't know how or why the science is like that, but stainless china. Well, Abby, you know your stainless isn't very good stainless if it's yellow, right? The point of stainless is that it doesn't do this. It looks like silver plate. What the heck? And then you notice stainless china. Well, how does stainless steel usually get marked? It's good stuff is marked 1810, 1808 with chromium and something else mixed in to make sure it stays stainless. So it just these little nuances with silverware. It's funny. W.M. Rogers Manufacturing Co. Extra Plate IS. Really Art Deco-y to that. Maybe if there's 6 of that, I can list it off as a little lot there. Fans of Art Deco will love that. Salad pieces. Clearly silver plate. Plate of salad pieces. W.M. Rogers PA. One is monogrammed and one is not. Wow. Kind of interesting. Okay, so here's where I'm thinking I'm going to get my cash back from this lot, and I'll be able to do it with selling these pieces individually, probably. A ladle like that's got to go for $10. There's quite a few of them. Oh, I think it's a punch ladle? Could be punch ladle. Wow. I don't know how much somebody's willing to pay for this, but it can't be that cheap. Some Goodwills are more diligent about picking out the real silver from the silver plate, and I'm not going to tell you guys which ones those are, because that's my trade secret that I know of from spending thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, and going through all this silverware. Sorry, I'll tell you guys a lot, but that's one of my secrets. I'll happily show you guys the lots I get, and sometimes maybe if you even search through Goodwill and the auctions that have ended, maybe you might be able to pick a piece part, put together the lots from the unboxing videos, but I'm not going to straight up tell you which Goodwill I bought my stuff from. If I tell you that, then you'll know too much. That's all I'll say about that subject. That was plated, by the way. Okay. Alright then. So, I would say quite solid for Newbridge EPNS. Quite solid for $40. It's about as good as I need for it to have been worth it to buy this. If it was worse quality, it would be a bad buy, but it's a good quality box of Silverplate. So, yeah, that's it for today. You guys, I showed you a 2 for today. Oneida. This is a symbol of something, I don't know what. I could try to figure that out. Maybe it's collectible. Somebody. Oh, actually I think this was, I thought that this was real. But let's see. Otherwise, why would you make this so fancy? Alright. Huh. What is marking? What is this? Barcelona. Oh, Barcelona. Okay. It's like a touristy spoon thing. Okay, alright then. This is likely to be European. 830S. Okay, well, we found actual real silver. 830S is a silver standard in the Norwegian countries. Nice one. Not going to be worth that much given how small it is, though. Gorham EP. Yep, they were quite diligent in picking out the real stuff. But I'm convinced that I'll do fine on these buys. Alright, that's it for today's video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed, and thank you for watching. Good Marks is out. Ooh, what is... It's an odd piece. Now this puzzles me a little bit. Look at the high relief here. It's not marked any. This could be real. This could easily be unmarked real silver. Here, no marking, but I don't see anybody who would have made this without using the real stuff. I think we got another piece of real silver on our hands. They might be really diligent, but eventually... Oh, here we are. Finally found some that's actually marked sterling. Alvin Sterling Rose Crest. Rose Crest. Fortunately, I think this is the only piece like this. Holmes and Edwards. It's nice, but we lost some silver here. That might be that's enough to deter most buyers, I believe. Now I'm looking at this a little bit more closely, since real silver has slipped through the cracks, and I thought I was done with the video already. These are like Hummel spoons or something, based off Hummels. They're usually silver plated. ARS edition. I think Hummels, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Silver flower by Community. Pierced serving spoon. Maybe that would be worth something. But again, it's another piece, so I have to polish it up because the tarnish is too terribly on this box. And that's possibly why it went cheaper than it should have. Is the tarnishing kind of pushed people away when it really shouldn't have. It's not that hard to polish silverware up. You could do it in an evening quite easily and get through a lot of pieces, bring it back up to code, and resell. It's quite easy. Okay, I think this is actually the end of the video. I didn't find any more actual silver. Okay, that's it for today's video, guys. Let's go take a look at the real stuff. What I think is real. Today's scores are a rather large, chunky coin silver spoon, which I believe is coin silver. I'll have to test it or something because I can't know for sure. But the way it is marked, it is very reminiscent of how coin silver is marked. And then I got what I believe to be unmarked silver. For some reason, it's not marked, but I think it's silver. So it looks like this fork with interesting embellishment did not come out real. But the dairy spoon, they told me that it was shooting at 80%, which is not unreasonable for coin silver, because there was really not much control over the type of silver that they were using to make these spoons. So although coin is supposed to be 90%, you could definitely have fluctuations as low as 75% or 70% I've seen in some silver forums. So that doesn't exactly mean that this is fake, and they told me they wanted to cut into it, but I didn't want to. Since it is marked, all I have to do is find the coin silver maker. I do still think it's dairy, but somebody had mentioned it might be, say, berry. Short for Standish berry. But I don't think this is the mark of Standish berry. If it was, this would be a very valuable spoon. I just don't know who this dairy fellow is. I have a really cool update here. The spoon was attributed to John Darby of Charleston, South Carolina. That's really good because Charleston silversmiths are highly sought after, and he worked from 1795 to 1830. Apparently, the expert who looked at my spoon was kind enough to give me a page, a little blurb about the man and his marks from a book. Really cool of this guy, and if he wants, he can have the spoon, and I would sell it on consignment for sure. Sterling spoon, and then an 830S fork. The real silver hull, 128 grams. Okay. Thank you for watching, guys. Good Mars, good afternoon.